Happy Wednesday night and welcome to A Look on the Plus Side. I'm your host, Rob Whiteside. Thank you guys for being with us. We appreciate you. If you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. It's called the Park Adventurers Club. We have a lot of fun. We hope you will join us. Subscriptions are free. Just give it a, subscribe and also give this video a thumbs up as it helps people to find us. And who's us tonight? Oh boy, howdy. It's the man, the myth, the legend. It's Patrick Hackett.
Hey, Rob, I'm just here for the Labor Day weekend show.
Oh, I don't know what that means. Is that a bit?
Oh, it's a Jimmy Buffett reference.
Oh, well, I do have some changes in attitude and changes in latitude, so hopefully I'll be able to make up what's going on. Lord Almighty, I feel my temperature rising. We're going to be talking about Stitch, Stitch the movie, the 2025 reboot, the live-action one. Mr. Hackett, there have not been a lot of what I say popular live-action adaptations from the Disney company, have there? I feel like anytime they do one, we all hold our breath and go, oh no, this isn't going to go well. Did you have that feeling about Lilo and Stitch?
God, I had that feeling when this first came out. It felt like another unnecessary live-action remake. Stitch, the animated film, was so perfect. To remake something is definitely risky. You have to really thread a needle with that. So I was all, hashtag not my Stitch when I first saw him. It didn't look right, but it grew on me, and I'm sure we'll talk more about it real soon.
I feel like that everybody was burned by the Sonic thing, the very first live action, right?
Ugly Sonic.
That's where it all started, I feel like, is the fear that it's like Sonic and Stitch are both blue and they're both from our youth, and everybody was like, hey, we don't want that. Like, whatever that monstrosity was that Sonic was originally, they fixed it up a little bit. It became a good franchise, but everybody was like...
Ben Schwartzman kills it.
Yeah, no, for sure. But everybody was like, you better not do Stitch that way. And I you know what? I'm happy with the way Stitch worked out. I was rewatching that movie and for us to talk about it, and just as Lilo is petting Stitch, I was like, I want to pet Stitch. That Stitch looks adorable, and I would like to have that Stitch just, I mean, I like my dogs, but I'd rather have Stitch. I feel like that would be a better thing.
I don't know.
No?
Would it be better if your dog could talk to you and let you know what's going on? Because, my little idiot was just down here growling at me for some unknown reason. And honestly, I don't know if words would make it better.
They would. Because
sure?
our dog just growls, and then my wife loses her mind, and she's like, what do you want? You want food? You want water? You want out? What do you want? It's a frustrating thing. For those of you who don't know, we actually are going to be talking about a movie. We're going to be talking about Lilo and Stitch, and it dropped today, man. When we're doing this live,
timely.
This thing came out today. As soon as it dropped, you were like, hey, let's watch Lilo and Stitch and talk about it on the day it releases. It actually released at 3 a.m. Eastern last night. I didn't watch it then.
Were you? I was going to say, were you there?
I was actually going to sleep around that time, so that really would have been quite a thing to add a 2-hour movie to that. Let's talk about the stat board, though, because this movie did really well for the Disney company this year.
Really
Runtime, 1 hour and 52 minutes. That's a lot closer to 2 hours than I like, Patrick.
Same.
Release date was May 21st, 2025, right around the time that Epic Universe opened up. That's an interesting thing. It was rated PG. The box office did over $1 billion at the box office. It was the biggest movie of the year, and then the budget was $100 million, which is crazy in modern times to think that Disney can make a movie for $100 million. And then, of course, it was Disney that made it.
It was supposed to just drop on Disney Plus and be another one of those forgettable things, and the test audience liked it so much that it got a theatrical release. Thank goodness, because I feel like this could have had the same fate as Turning Red, which I think if Turning Red had a legitimate run in the theater, it could have done box office like this. I know they tried to bring it back, but it's just not the same when you've already seen it for free and it's there for free. But thank you to that test audience that brought this to the box office, and I'm sure the stockholders thank you too.
Well, actually, the stockholders brought it up. There's a video we dropped on this channel, if you want to check it out, where we talked to a financial expert about Disney stock and the stockholders call that they had for the Q3 earnings call. And in that call, they talked about, they just rode that one hard about how great and amazing Stitch had been doing. they were like, yeah, and Fantastic Four just dropped, and we're still waiting on the numbers on that. I don't think that did what they wanted it to do. But, as they're talking about that, they were also like, and keep in mind, we may have a soft Q4 because last year, Inside Out 2 became the biggest movie in the world. And so we're up against those comps. And I'm thinking, you're going to do this next year when Lilo and Stitch comes out. You're like, last year we had Lilo and Stitch. I'm not sure we're going to be able to make that up
Yeah.
with Avatar 3.
Is that really coming out? That's
yeah,
happening?
it's December.
Doesn't
Dude,
have to.
You and I reviewed 1, and
No.
you never would come back and
No.
revisit 2 with me, so I haven't seen it. But you'll go and you'll get a pineapple lumpia, won't you? You'll go and
I will. I will go to that theme park land and hang out in it because it's a great land. I could spend 2 hours there easy. If you sit me in front of a television for 2 hours to watch one of those avatars, I'm not as happy. Also, no lumpia.
Yep. And again, we are going to be talking about this movie.
We'll get there.
The Stitch movie, when it dropped the Saturday after, our good friend Jake, who is in chat, hey Jake, what's going on? Also, he bullied me into buying this popcorn bucket. I will tell you that, and no one's going to believe that.
It's adorable.
But what?
It's
It was mean. Oh, it's adorable.
It's not mean. Yeah, look at how cute it is.
Look at that.
I bet he could hold a lot of popcorn in there. You should see how much popcorn. Oh, you eat it out of his mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, it's cute.
Yeah. No, it was a thing. He was like, well, if you don't like Stitch, I guess you're not going to buy the popcorn. I mean, it was a lot of guilt, and I finally persevered and went ahead and bought it. But Jake and I sat down the Saturday after it came out, almost like Saturday morning cartoons, and we just kind of talked about our first reactions about it. So we did talk about that. One of the things we talked about, and I want to get your thoughts on it, is the marketing coming out for this thing. Because like you said, this was originally going to be just like we thought like a Disney Plus thing. They rolled it out at D23 Expo and said when it was going to be releasing, and they like blinked the lights and then he like popped out of the screen, and that was how they announced that it was actually coming to theaters. And then there were all these like animatronic things, and the guy, like the one that would scan your ticket and all that. I don't know if you saw any of that at your local theater. I didn't see any at mine, but I mean, the little car driving around the movie theaters. Do you remember any of this?
I remember but I didn't have that. That was not my experience. I thought the marketing for it was fantastic, especially in a day and age where Disney is marketing films terribly. I mean, we can go back to the greatest film of all time, John Carter, and see how badly they butchered that. And they've just more and more misses with the marketing department. You are one of the biggest conglomerates in the world. Like, get you some good marketing people. Whoever did Stitch should get a promotion because they used 90s movies. They tugged at the heartstrings of 90s kids. All of us watching in those clamshell VHSs. And I think they did a really good job. I would have loved if they actually did the castle again, but I guess I'll settle for the projections and all that.
Yeah, I was actually looking to see if I could find. Oh, here it is. Let me grab this. I hadn't grabbed it already, and pull it up here if you.
Yeah, let me see.
Because
I'm excited to see it.
Well, no, and again, they kind of marketed it in a very similar way to the original. Like this, where it's like Stitch crashes blank, right? So it's like here's Stitch crashing 20th Century Fox and Marvel and Star Wars and Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin. Very similar to what we had seen in the original movie, or the original one when it came out. They did something where it was like you saw all the characters behind him, and they were all mad at Stitch because he had just like messed everything up. And so I love that they kind of were like, okay, this is what people liked about the first one. Let's keep some of that. This is the poster I was talking about, the old one. There's one in every family. Where everybody's like, I
forgot about that poster. Yeah.
Yeah, I have it. Actually, I don't have it like my hands on it, but it's over there. Yeah. I should have had it behind me. Sorry. But yeah, I worked at a movie theater when that came out and was able to get that. Yeah, it was a little theater called AMC Pleasure Island.
Oh, I've heard of that place. I think it's still there.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think they've knocked it down. So when this came out, I think, again, all of us were like, we wanted to do good, but there was that stigma of live action movies. Other than Lilo and Stitch, is there a live action that you appreciate at all from
Absolutely.
Disney?
I love Cinderella. I think Cinderella is fantastic. I
Okay.
really enjoy Cinderella. I think it's a beautifully well made film. I think it expands on the character quite a bit. If Cruella didn't have puppy murdering as her MO, I wouldn't mind Cruella. It's not so much a remake as a prequel, but I like that a lot. And the Aladdin's fine. Um, there's more and more when I watch movies. It's just, why does this exist? Um, it's just pirating and plummeting IP for the sake of a dollar here and there. And it's just like, if you don't have something else to say, what are you trying to tell in this story? Do you want a shot for shot remake? And we're being awfully generous when we're calling these live action. This one is probably the most live, well, Aladdin, of the more recent ones, this is the most live action. There's only one
Well,
animated. Yeah,
it's so funny that you would say that because as this one begins, it begins exactly, and I want to talk about during our little chat here the differences and the similarities between the animated
absolutely.
ones, because I don't think you can not do that. I don't think a lot of people went into this movie going, "What is Lilo and Stitch?" I think most people were like, "I've seen the cartoon. Let's see what you're going to offer me in the theater." And like you said, unless you can plus it, one up it, and John Favreau did it with Jungle Book, but let us down, I feel like, in Lion King because it was shot for shot, and it was and it wasn't
I've
as
never even
charming.
watched it. I have no desire to see that or Mufasa. It's just they're not for me. Jungle
Mufasa is
Book's
actually pretty
great.
good.
I've heard, but
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, but even if they did shot for shot remake of this, I don't think it would be worthwhile. I think that they had a little bit of a different story to tell, and I think they told it really well. And I'm sure we'll get into it as we go through the film.
Yeah. Well, so what I was going to say was I don't think anybody saw this and was like, "Oh, I've never seen the original. What's this one about?" And maybe they did. Maybe some people took their kids for nostalgia's sake and the kids hadn't seen the original, but I feel like the kids probably saw the original on Disney Plus at some point. So, when I was looking at the movie and I'm watching it and I'm thinking exactly what you were saying. I'm thinking this is a live action. This is a live action. But it was the scene when it opens up almost shot for shot the original scene as they open up,
Yep.
in the Galactic Council there. That is all animated, but I'm trying to convince myself that it's like live action because it's not like the
It's
Grand
so tough.
Councilwoman
It's
Pleakley,
so tough.
like Jumba. They're
Yeah.
all animated. The environment is animated. Everything is animated, and so at that point you're like, what are we really doing? This isn't a live action remake at that point. It's just a different animation style.
Yeah, I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts, The Flophouse. They don't need our promotion; they're much larger than we are, and they said that it's all Roger Rabbit and Mary Poppins, but worse. It doesn't look as good as it did in Mary Poppins. What was that, 60 years ago? And Roger Rabbit, I think that was 35, 40 years ago.
1989
And
with
that
Roger Rabbit.
89. So yeah, they're almost 36 years ago. And to see humans interacting with animated cells is not different anymore. All these actors are used to acting against a tennis ball in front of them and green screens. So live action is so misleading.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a lot more life and live in this than I think a lot of others. But there is some weird stuff that is animated that I don't think should be.
Well, I agree with you. I was watching Rob Bazemore and I did a review of Black Widow on here, and I watched some of like the bloopers of Black Widow, and even when they're in the
Yeah,
farmhouse, the stuff outside the window is all fake. It's all green screens in the windows. I'm
I
like,
know.
the things you don't even expect to be like
Right.
fake
Right.
are fake, like exactly what you're saying. So
Yeah.
I agree with you on that one. Let's turn and talk a little bit. Like I said, I want to talk about this in the ways of what's familiar and what's new in between, like what's like the original animated and what's new for this one, because I do think that makes a difference in a live action. Like I said,
100% it does.
when it's like you said early on, what are you telling me that you've never told me before? That's what I like about Beauty and the Beast, because there's like, okay, we kind of talk about what happened to Belle's mom and we kind of go there, and we have a couple extra songs and things like that. What?
That's so bad.
Yeah.
What happened to
Yeah.
Belle's mom is brutal and
Well,
has no place in Beauty and the Beast.
but it's so. I think it's well done because we'll talk. Maybe you
Well,
and I
well,
need to
dude,
talk live
I'm not
action.
going to do that one, but you do that
Okay.
with somebody.
I'll do that with somebody else. We'll talk about that. But
All right.
one of the things that is great to me about this one is bringing. I'm gonna like dovetail into the cast here because I think it's
Yep.
amazing that they brought back Tia Carrera in such a large role, the original
Same.
Nani. That they brought back Jason Scott Lee, the original David, in a more minor role than that. I mean, I don't know if there's some backstory as to why David Chase wouldn't be in this one, but she was the
She's
original.
stuck in the
like,
well, Rob. She got trapped in the
oh,
well,
that's
and
right,
she's in the
the
well
ring.
now. Yeah.
But then there's also Chris Sanders, who is, as Jake always refers to him, the creator. And Chris Sanders was the guy who created Lilo and Stitch, and he was the voice of
He's
Stitch in the first movie.
everything.
Yeah, and he's
the
the
everything. Yeah.
yeah, he is great, and I've met him, and he is an amazingly nice man. And so I honestly love the fact that they were like, let's get the guy who created this to continue to do the voice, and that
Had
made
to.
it.
Had
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, that made it
had
that
to.
good. I don't know if they would have like said maybe put Kevin McDonald in as Pleakley if they weren't going to
begged.
do.
He
I was going to say if they
begged.
weren't going to do the human side. That's where it got
Yeah.
messed up for him. I think is
Yeah.
doing the human side. If it was just the voice, I'm
He
wondering if
was
they would have.
in tears. There's TikToks from his kids talking about how badly he wanted to be in this film. That was actually on my list to talk about. Is I feel so bad they couldn't find a role for him, and I think he would have been fantastic as Pleakley. I don't know why they couldn't use him. Ving Rhames wasn't in it because was filming Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning and also released at the same time. Which, man, Stitch toe to toe with Mission Impossible. Well done, Stitch.
Right.
But yeah, I really wanted Kevin McDonald in this. Kevin McDonald's two best roles outside of Kids in the Hall are both Disney movies. He's fantastic in Sky High, and he is wonderful as the original voice of Pleakley.
Yeah, no, I agree. But so Courtney B. Vance appears as Cobra Bubbles, which feels not great after the idea of it being Ving Rhames. But I do love, and we'll talk about this later, how they sort of fixed something with Cobra Bubbles that was a problem for me. Maya, I want to talk about, who plays Maya Kealoha. Probably not
Good
saying
job.
that correctly, but
I think you did well. I wouldn't even risk it. Good job.
Yeah. Thank you. And she plays Lilo, and I'm not going to be able to say enough good things about her in this one.
No.
Normally, I'm so
Yeah.
critical of kid actors, which is not
Same.
necessarily a good thing. But like, I think of Jake Lloyd,
try.
and everybody says that it was the directing that messed Jake Lloyd up as
usually
young
is.
Anakin, but he just like. That's again. There have been some bad ones. The little girl who played young Leia in the Obi-Wan Kenobi, I think, did an amazing job.
Crushes it.
Yeah, crushes it. And this girl, not only does she do a great job as an actress, but an amazing job selling Stitch. Because like you talked
Yes.
about, and
Yes.
actors and things, and they're not there. Yeah, I'll let you go on that with that, because I could probably go on and on and on.
I think she did an incredible job. Whoever was coaching her up, the directing, everything was wonderful. She has natural charisma. I feel like I'm sad. I don't think she's going to be in the live action Moana, but I feel like she would be perfect in that. Which, God, why are we getting a live action Moana? But she makes Stitch believable. If she is off even a little bit, this movie doesn't work. She's pitch perfect, and she is what sells Stitch. And I can't imagine what it was like acting next to. I'm sure we'll get more behind the scenes stuff. I know you always check, but like, what was she acting with to get those reactions? She did fantastic.
Well, there's one scene, and again, Jake and I talked about this when it came out. There's one scene where Sydney, who plays Nani, was stroking Stitch, like, you know, and not doing a good job.
Yeah.
Like, that one in particular was not great. But when she hugs him, I feel like she is
You
hugging
feel
him.
it.
When
Yeah.
she kisses his nose, when he comes in close to her and she kind of backs away, like, I'm picturing, like you were saying, like them with a stick, to get that, to get that like expression when she kind of bounces back from that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that's really cool. I need to I need to flex the fact that I got to see and get my picture taken and meet the cast when I was at
Dude,
San Diego Comic Con. I had
I
to.
wouldn't be able to
I
meet
I
Tia
had to.
Carrere. I could not meet Tia Carrere. Like, there's very few people that I would have difficulty forming words around, but like Wayne's World, seminal time when I was a kid.
Yep.
It's, I don't
No,
know.
you're right.
It'd be tough.
Absolutely.
Yep.
She's still gorgeous. And at the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
time, it's so funny that she was very motherly to the two of them. It was, I mean,
That's great.
yeah, it was really neat to see them
Fantastic.
all as one big Ohana.
I think that's something we'll definitely get into as we progress into the film. Eventually, we'll talk about the film. I think.
Well, we started talking about the film and the shot for shot opening, and then I wanted to talk about the cast a little bit, but I definitely wanted to stop and just give praise where it's due for Maya's performance, and Sydney did a good job too. Again, both of them unknown to me, and so I think it's amazing to see them. Zach Galifianakis as Jumba. I don't think he was necessarily bad, but he was just kind of Zach Galifianakis, and the Jumba. I did not care for the Jumba animation. I don't know what they could have done better, but that was not hashtag.
I think
not my Jumba.
that's why I'm glad we didn't see Gantu, because I looked at Jumba and I was like, I don't really care if he's not an evil Russian scientist, whatever. He was just Zach Galifianakis, and I'm tired of Zach Galifianakis and Chris Pratt and Ryan Reynolds in everything, and they're just being themselves. They're not acting. Like,
I could watch Ryan Reynolds all the time, dude.
All right. Well,
I don't care if he's the same character all the time because he's funny. I feel like he is. But I get what you're saying.
Give other people roles. You know?
Wait a minute. Why are we not attacking Pedro Pascal over that then? Because God,
because he's not the same person in every he inhabits the roles that he's in. He's not playing the same thing. There's huge differences between the Sand Snake and a lot of his other characters and the Mandalorian. And come on,
okay.
Pedro Pascal's at a different level of acting than.
But we've always had that, like Kevin Costner. Kevin Costner just being Kevin Costner in every movie. Everybody is breaking their neck to sound like they're British, except for Kevin Costner in Robin Hood. Now,
I mean, that's a bad movie, man. I don't know why you're bringing that up. That's a trash flick.
And then they do the reverse for Gal Gadot in Wonder Woman, where they made everybody who was in Themyscira speak the way she does because she can't not speak that way.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Galifianakis was distracting. He was distracting because it didn't look exactly like him, and so I spent a really long time like arguing with myself: Is this him? Is it not him? They could have used somebody else. I mean, you know who they could have used? Bobby Moynihan. Bobby Moynihan would have inhabited this role in a way that would have been incredible.
Let's reshoot it. I'm down. My God, yes. Why?
Yeah.
Junk Uncle, please throw him in there. I mean, and we were just at Destination D23 and he came out and I was gobsmacked. I was starstruck when he came out because I was like, it's Bobby Moynihan. I mean, DuckTales and he's great. I love Bobby Moynihan. That is great. I'm completely disappointed in this entire movie that it doesn't have Bobby Moynihan in it. Billy Magnuson, I would have not told you would have been good, and I think that he
was fine.
I think that he did a great job with what he had to do. Because he played the part that he needed to play. And maybe that's just him. But getting back to Jumba, the other thing that bothered me, other than the animation of him, is that David Ogdenstiers was not that voice. Like, he used an accent, as you mentioned, like it sounded sort of Russian. He used an accent. Why did we not get that accent out of, like, why didn't we even try?
I don't want to go into anything possibly geopolitical, but like,
okay, all right, then we'll stop it there. Let's go then to Hannah Waddingham from Ted Lasso as the voice of the Grand Councilwoman. Perfect. The like, she's like, like when she'll do something like, go on. Like, I mean, it sounds so much like the original that you could have used the same audio as far as I know.
I am shocked they didn't,
nailed it.
To be honest. I am shocked they didn't use the same audio. It was dedicated to the original voice of the Grand Councilwoman at the beginning of the film.
And then the David it wasn't the David
I
that
liked him a lot.
He, I guess he was fine, but he wasn't the David from the movie, from the animated. This is
No,
the
he's
movie, but
different.
from the animated.
He's definitely different.
It's a
He's
different
definitely
vibe.
different.
He's got more
It's
of
a different
geeky
vibe, and
thing
I like
going.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's, I think that's the most of this cast. But again, Jason
You
Scott
missed
Lee
one.
showing up as the manager at the luau, I thought was great to see him in that movie and in that role. And then, I kind of shouted that out like to my wife, who didn't hear what I was saying when we were in the movie theater, and then had to point it out to everybody else in my family when I saw him. I was like, yeah. And then, Tia Carrera, they make a new role for her. That's a new character that what didn't even exist, so that she could be a big part of this movie. And and again, I feel like it fixes something for me that I needed them to fix. From a standpoint of animation, so that's the cast. I feel like we've addressed the cast, but from a standpoint of animation,
Wait, Amy Hill. Amy Hill as Tutu. She was
oh,
incredible.
okay.
Yep. That's it.
I don't know. Yeah, I've got thoughts on that too, though. The
Okay.
relationship. So I don't as we move into the quality of this movie, we talked about like, were they starting to make this for Disney Plus? Because I feel like Lady and the Tramp was not the same quality of some theater movie stuff that we've seen, or Wendy and Peter, or some of the, or Pinocchio even. Like the stuff that goes directly to it, you feel like maybe they spend a little less money on the stuff that goes
I
directly
forgot
to
that
Disney
those
Plus.
existed, Rob. They definitely spent a little less money.
They're
I'm
live
not
action.
joking.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah.
I remember getting excited about Pinocchio because it was going to have Tom Hanks in it, and Tom Hanks did a fair job, because he always does, like a great job, but it's forgettable. And same with Lady and the Tramp, which launched with Disney Plus, was forgettable. And then the same thing with Peter and Wendy. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, those are not great movies, I don't feel like,
No.
and I don't think we need to ever revisit them. But
No.
but
we eventually will, because we need content, Rob.
But the money side of it, though, it feels like that they really went out of their way to do this one right. The animation, like I said, I'm almost lost when they're doing the whole scene in space. I'm almost lost in the fact that this is not a real set. So I think they did a good job with that, and the characters look good, and they do a good job not only of making them look good, but making them look like the guards, like the space guards, like you plucked them from the movie and put them into reality. Like, I think they did a really good job with that. And then his fur is amazing, and the way that they interact with him. I don't feel like they needed to do any tricks or anything to hide how the animation was with like shadows and things like that. I rewatched. We're gonna do Ice Age next week, and I rewatched Ice Age, and woof. That one is the animation. No, but with this one though, I think they did what'd you say?
I said the animation and the movie. Woof.
Oh no, well that's for me and Charlie to decide next week. But I will say though that for this one though, I think from a quality standpoint, from an acting standpoint, from a writing standpoint, from what they added to it that actually added to it, I think the movie in general from a quality standpoint is good. Do you have any converse thoughts on that?
No, I actually was surprised at how good some of the stuff looked. Rewatching it today, the portals looked really well. They look good. They look believable. They shifted from actual actors to animation pretty seamlessly a couple times. I think they knew, no, because it was in test audiences. So even if they were going to bring this to Disney Plus, $100 million budget for a Disney Plus show is different probably than what some of those others spent. And you can see the dollars on the screen. Sometimes, animation's expensive. And when you're adding these complex characters into these scenes, it's very, very expensive. I was rewatching that, and I was like, this scene is bananas, and I love it. It feels so on brand.
Yeah, but yeah, honestly though, the scene with where they are where they're trying to track him down, this part right here, which is right out of the movie. Like, I mean, and again, I keep saying the movie, but I mean like the animated, like the whole like how good is his hearing? Like it's so good. But again, you buy it. You never for a second think that's an animation. you think that's
Well,
just
there
Stitch.
was a time. There was a
Except for
time,
the
and Rosita just brought it up in the chat, so I'm gonna bring it up.
bring it
That
up.
frog. Can we not get a real frog? Do we need a CGI frog? Like, get a frog. They're plentiful. I can go out and I have a stream in my backyard and get you 2-3 frogs right now. Why is it CGI? It looks so unnatural. I expected it to put on a top hat and started singing "Hello, my baby, hello, my darling." Like, it's so bad. I hate it so much. Also, that's clearly a boardwalk font across that trolley car. I was like, that
Yeah.
font looks very familiar.
Yep. Yeah, no. I don't disagree with that, but again, to me, that looks like you ripped it out of the movie. Yeah, I get that it doesn't look
Agreed.
like a real frog, but the original.
Yeah, yeah.
I need to start saying the original, Patrick, and
Yeah,
you
the
can
original.
you can start docking me points when I don't say that.
I don't give points out anymore, Rob.
Come on. This reminded me of something from like the Muppets, like when they do Muppet Man.
It was very Muppet. It was very Muppet. I liked that. That and Pleakley trying to act human. I would like a hot tube. A hot tub? Yes, that is what they are called. It's like, all right, I'm buying the fish out of water here. He's doing.
That's why I think Billy did a good job on this one. I think that
I miss Kevin McDonald. That's all.
Okay, all right, that's fine. That's you. You can't like Billy Magnuson because he's not Kevin McDonald.
Yeah, but
Okay.
he does fine. I'm not going to dock him points.
Yeah, I mean, he like where he's trying to learn how to walk, and then and again they kind of justify a little bit where he's like, did you watch the video I sent you on how to walk? Like, did you do that? And I mean, just him in general, like kind of tripping into the resort, I just thought was like, how much?
Yeah.
Come on,
And
come on.
I
That's
want to
fine.
say they really could have gone full into brand recognition and synergy and put this at Olani, and I'm very glad they didn't. Because that was a fear of mine. This was going to be Stitch takes Olani.
Yeah. Well, and by the way, here's the portal gun was pretty smart. Like that was a
Yeah.
new addition to this.
Especially
so
at
here's
the end.
like
Yeah.
yeah, the portal that you're
And this
talking
guy.
about the animation.
Oh, this guy. I love that guy.
I feel like he passed away, didn't he? Like
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
yeah,
Is that
like
the guy
recently.
from the choir?
No. No, you mean the guy from
but
the the luau?
I like that it was shave ice and not,
and not
soft
mint
serve.
chocolate chip ice cream.
Yeah, I liked that a lot. More
Yeah.
authentic.
Yeah.
Jake,
yeah, Jake said
confirmed
Jake
he did pass away.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's
Which
sad.
it was not. I feel like it was not long after the movie came out, or even before that. I think it was just after it came out. But they made a choice, by the way. I don't know if we get into this or not, but they made a choice about Pleakley, and in the original, Pleakley likes to wear women's clothes. In this one, he just doesn't
Yeah.
know what kind of clothes he's wearing. Like that's the difference
Yeah.
here. Is he's just like, I'm just mixing like waders with a blouse with a visor.
It's a good look. I think it looks a good look. Yeah, I think that it's there's been enough said about that we don't need to wade into those waters.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a big character choice either way for Pleakley. I think there was more of a married couple thing going on with him and Jumba during their original stakeout. I think that's stories
All right.
change when you're doing it.
All right, so some of the things, like I said, the opening scene with with the trial was shot for shot. Even like the robot throwing up like bolts, like I mean, it could not have been more alike, and it's okay that it was alike.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got to strike a balance between the things we love from the first one and the things that we want to see new things of. So that was the same. The fact that she found him in the dog pound, the basic story is the same. Some of
The beats are there. The beats are
some
all
of the
there.
levers are different, but the
Yep.
basic story is there. So here's a list of things that I made to kind of talk about. Shave ice instead of ice cream. We talked about that. The portal gun as like a plot device to get from place
Loved
to
it.
place.
Thought it was great.
Was again a nice thing. There was no ugly duckling. Did you miss the ugly duckling storyline?
I did miss the ugly duckling.
And
I don't know how they do it in a story. It's weird to say about a blue space alien that's a little more grounded in reality. I
Yeah.
don't know how it gets pulled off, but I did miss the ugly duckling bit
Well,
a
and
lot.
in its stead, I feel like they leaned more into Mama and Papa. Like there was more about the parents. In the first
Yeah,
one, we just know that they're
yeah.
absent, but in this one, there's more about them
Well,
and what happened.
we knew how they died in the original.
Right, but I just mean like we
Yeah,
talk more. They talk more about them and how much they miss them in this one than
yeah.
in the original one, including the heart wrenching part where if you were a parent and you are and you're watching this, the part where she says, "I loved you more, liked you more as a sister than a mother." That
Yep.
tears at you, man. That tears at you because as a
Yeah.
caregiver, if your kid's like, you know what, Dad, I like Mom better, and I'm sure you've heard that probably before in your lifetime. I know I did.
I've heard that recently, Rob. Not today, but
Sorry to
like
pick that scab,
yesterday.
Patrick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Um,
okay.
no, man,
So
it's
Pleakley, go ahead, finish your thought.
at its heart. This is a heart wrenching story about grief and about loss and about how people deal with things. Um, when you look at it at face level and you're just looking at a movie, it's about a silly cartoon alien who has adventures and who endears himself to a family. But deep down, this is a really interesting story about how kids deal with grief. And you see that she's not dealing with it in the healthiest way in both the original and in this version. She's violent, she's acting out. Um, and I think there's some things that this gets right that I think the animated may have taken for granted.
The relationships between Nani and Lilo are much stronger. I think the relationship with David and the sisters is a little weaker, but I think that they spend more time on the sisters than they do on the rest and how they got there and why they're there and how they're struggling and all of those things. So I think Pleakley and Jumba taking human form was different. And I don't know, did they do that because it makes more sense as far as them being covert,
Yes.
or did they do that because it's cheaper than animating them? Literally,
No,
that's
I
in my
think they
head.
did that because it's grounded more in reality. That's they've talked about this in the making of this movie, that they wanted it more to feel more real. That Stitch is dropped into this world, and so are these other characters, but they are in Hawaii. They are not, anywhere else. It's different than the animated, because when you're watching an animated movie, you expect outrageous things, and I think that's why they grounded this more in reality. That's why I think like you couldn't just put Pleakley in a dress. That's still an alien. Like
Yeah.
people are gonna know. So I like that they use human disguises. I thought it was very clever.
Okay, so no Gantu, as you said, and I honestly feel like sometimes when you're making a movie, you have to go, look, there's too many complicated things to add them all into this movie, and to make the story about the sisters bigger deal, to get deeper into that story and to still have it come in under 2 hours, you've got to leave something out. And I don't know that there was a need for Gantu. And like you said, maybe it's better that they
Agreed.
didn't, but maybe he shows up
And
later.
there's a
Maybe
sequel.
there's a sequel.
Yep.
Exactly.
There is a
The,
sequel.
the whole wedding crashing thing was new at the beginning. And so,
Yeah,
like,
you
that
want to
was.
talk about how this is a little bit long. We could have done without that. We could have done without that. Like, having just rewatched it, I'm like, this is a stupid scene. It does nothing. It adds nothing to the story. We could have just stopped it with his zapping the collar, flashes the lights at the wedding. It was unnecessary. Could have trimmed that and got a shorter movie.
Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, I guess they were giving it as a reason for why, how he found his way to the, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, they do it. It helps in a couple of ways. Is one is how he found his way to the shelter because he crashed this wedding and they needed to get animal control to pick him up. The second thing is that because it's on the news now, Jumba and Pleakley are like,
Yeah.
that's how we get him. That's how we find him because his collar's gone. That's how we can track him down.
Yeah.
Because
Deus
yeah,
ex machina there,
yeah. So again, moving on to the things that were different. She wasn't a shutterbug in this one. Again, that's something that that Jake and I talked about. Is that that was her? That was a lot of her personality, is her taking pictures along the way, and then that became a thing. And I think my opinion is, after rewatching it again, is that it was probably cut because instead of her interacting
with pictures on her walls.
You see pictures on her walls, and then at the end, the montage at the end of in the end credits, as we're seeing the credits, is all pictures. So I'm thinking that it was probably there. But the way that she interacts with the tourists in the first movie is to take pictures of them. The way she interacts with them in here is she keeps crashing the resort.
Yep.
So, I mean, I don't know. I feel like that maybe, like, I looked to see if there were extras, and I know Jake has the Blu-ray DVD set, and I'm sure it has extras on it to maybe talk about things that were cut out.
Jake is such a bigger Stitch fan than I am. I thought I was a big Stitch fan, but Jake is next level. Yeah. Physical media, get out of here.
He needs to step it up with some ink. That's all I'm saying.
I was thinking about adding Stitch to one of my
don't talk about it, be about it, brother. Just saying, just throwing that out there. I have said, by the way, that if we could hit 5,000 subs on this channel before the end of the year, I would get an Oswald tattoo. Like, I've got it all picked out and everything. I don't think we're going to, but if we were able to hit 5,000 subs by 12/31/2025, I will get a tattoo. I don't have one. I'm an old man and I don't have a tattoo, but I would get one. And again, Oswald would be the one, and I've already got him picked out. So, yeah, let's see if that happens. The rest of the stuff though that I noticed again. Mama and Papa, bigger deal. The marine biology thing. Like, how do you feel about that?
I feel really great about that. So I don't know if you want to get into the whole thing right now about
let's get into it.
Let's get into it. I think it's great that she's not one-dimensional. Now, if you go back and look, and I probably saw a TikTok about this, and I'm really sorry to the TikToker that I can't credit, but in the original, there are so many surf trophies on Nani's shelf. You miss it. But it's obvious she gave up so much. And this time, they're really putting the stakes out there that this 17, 18-year-old girl has basically had to change her entire life to take care of someone who she is not equipped to take care of. Lilo says it, you're a better sister than you are a mom. And at 18 years old, with the lack of skills thrust into this role, she is being forced to become a parent and give up on becoming a marine biologist, give up on her surf skills, which I love how the Chekhov's gun of this surf skills pay off in the movie. I thought that was really
my God,
cool.
We're going to talk about that, brother.
Yeah. And I think that a lot of people complain about the ending being different from the original, and I love this ending. I think the ending is tremendous, and I think it expands on the idea of Ohana and brings it closer to what Native Hawaiians believe is Ohana. And I really like the marine biologist part because it gave more to her character other than she's just an exhausted teenager now having to take care of her little sister. She's somebody who lost out on a dream when she lost her parents too.
Yeah. And you can see that they're both frustrated, but as a parent and trying to control your child, and seeing that there is no way to control her, and that it just makes things worse all the time. And as a matter of fact, when she's going for her round of job interviews, all I can think of is David seems to be available. Seems like he works nights at the luau. Can't you have him watch the kid for you and the dog so that you're not ruining each and every? But that's goes against the grain of what we're
because that's more of her attitude. It takes her a while to get to that point to see the supports that she has, because in this situation, I mean, you've dealt with grief, Rob. You and I have had deep conversations about losses in our lives, and when you're on that island by yourself, no matter how many life rafts are thrown out to you, you don't see them. And I think that's really telling an interesting story about grief and about how she has to do this all on her own because she needs to be this because of the loss that she experienced.
That's good. That's fair. All right. So I do want to talk about two major things. One is the ending, and one is the Cobra Bubbles thing. But before we go any further, I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. I appreciate I see everybody in the chat. Rosita, thank you for being here. Fire Chief Jake. I saw Care Bear was up there. Mrs. Fire Chief. And Patrick Hackett is in the chat. He's very... Patrick, you should be paying more attention to this show, buddy. Ronald, I see in the chat. So again,
I'm not ready. I'm just not ready for it.
If I missed you, I apologize.
I got nothing.
But
completely.
but now is the time where we go and we throw some trivia questions out. I know Rosita's a fan of the trivia. Patrick is not a fan of the trivia. If you hear him whining and screaming and begging for mercy here right now, that's why. So I feel like Patrick. I feel like I was kind in what I picked out here, and there were some things that I felt like made sense to ask. And again, I usually, and for those of you who have never watched before, I just go in and I watch the movie the same as everybody else, and as I'm watching it, I notice things, and then I usually bring them up and ask the questions. So I definitely want to ask you a few things on this one. When the movie opens up and we open up and they're having the trial, basically, of Stitch and Jumba, what day of the week is it?
What? Wednesday.
I'm sorry. I mean, it's Wednesday today, but
It's Wednesday then, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
So here's what happened. I walked in the house after work today, and it was already on. So I joined midway in progress here. It's Tuesday. There it is. I was close. But with the international dateline, it's...
my bad. It would be Monday. So you're doing it, like, say, from Japan.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. That'll learn you not to watch it from the beginning, my friend. Okay. Yeah. Patrick 0 for 1. I love Fire Chief. Thank you so much
it's
for keeping
great.
track.
Yeah. Keep track of my humiliation.
Patrick really appreciates it when people do that. So thank you for doing that. When Lilo runs home because Nani didn't show up at the recital, which is interesting because in the movie, in the original movie, it's a rehearsal, I believe. It's not like the main recital. So in this one, it's a recital, and there's a space for Nani, which again really is just makes that emotional level to the next bit because it's
such cheap filmmaking. Everybody does it. I mean, you remember Russell and Up. It's such an obvious thing to do, and it still works every time.
Yeah. So at that, Nani doesn't show up, but it's not her fault. The truck wouldn't start, and so she couldn't get to the thing. And when she gets there, it's all closed up, and it's sad. But so Lilo's mad. She runs home. She puts on her favorite artist, Elvis, and she lays down on the ground. And what's the song that's playing?
Well, she puts on the Blue Hawaiian album, and then she plays a song that is not actually on the Blue Hawaiian album.
God, I love that you and I went to the same place on that. So you know the answer. What's the answer?
I know. Is it Jailhouse Rock?
No.
Hold on. It is Heartbreak Hotel.
That is correct. Yeah.
Thank you, IMDb goofs section.
So here is the track listing for Blue Hawaii. I noticed that same thing that you said. So here's the album that she pulls out. And I was like, let's see. Is that on this album? It is not on this album. Interesting. Aloha Oi is on this album. Like, yeah, I find that funny that you
Rosita said I'm cheating. I admitted it.
Did you Google it? You son of a...
No, I have... Always when we're doing these shows, I have like the IMDb page up, and it's in the IMDb goof section.
Oh, I gotcha.
Literally read it right before coming on the air.
All right.
See, this is the problem with movies that I like is I get into the story and I'm not looking at minutia.
Here's something then, Patrick, that is not IMDb-able. Sir, are you ready?
No.
Are you ready?
We've gone over this. No, I'm not ready.
This is easy. So when the social worker is there talking to Nani, she says, I need you to do 3 things by the end of the week. What are those 3 things?
Pay the bills.
Yep.
That you saw stacking up. Get a job.
Okay, and what's the third one?
Clean up the house.
Okay, so you got 2 out of 3 because... Get a job. She already had one at that point. She didn't lose her job until later. So what's the third one then?
Is something with food? Is it learn how to cook?
No, it's get insurance.
That's right.
Because it comes back. It comes back.
Oh,
they did a good job of doing that one. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
What is Jumba's Earth
God.
name?
You guys are.
The guy that is cloned has a name. They say it. It's on his name tag. What's his name?
Yep, I can see that. Rick. Man, when it's bad, it's bad. Like,
Woo! Rick.
Rick. It feels like a Rick. He looks like a Rick to me.
Marcus.
He does not look like a Marcus.
Marcus, take this gentleman's bags to his room. He's got his name tag on. Marcus.
You guys are killing me today.
I know.
Oh, this is still going on? Oh, no.
Yeah, because I asked you what day of the week it was. I asked you what song was playing. I asked you about what the three things were, and I asked you about his Earth name. So I've got one more left to ask you. Because I'm only going to do 5. That's where I'm at these days. We're only doing 5.
All right.
And this is going to be an easy one for you because you already know the answer. You've already said that you know the answer.
Okay.
The shuttle that runs Stitch over, what is the name on the front of that bus that runs him over? What is the name of that company? I mean, you already mentioned that.
Rainbow Excursions?
That is very close.
Rainbow Express?
Starlight
Rainbow
Express?
Connection. I love Starlight Express. Is that on Disney Plus or Hulu? Because I can talk about that.
We're just going to turn you into the Broadway guy. You're only doing reviews of Broadway movies. By the way, talk about things that are not going to be under 2 hours. Anything that is a Broadway adaptation is not going to be under 2 hours.
True.
It is Rainbow Isle Excursions. I feel like chat's going to have to decide.
Give me a half point.
TSN 6899 says Magical Express.
No,
what's that?
That doesn't exist anymore.
Never heard of it. Yeah. I was going to ask you the pink car that was driving. What was the license plate? Would you have known that? Too Fast?
No.
Would you have known the code that Cobra Bubbles calls in was code 51?
I did know that. Yes.
Would you have known what song was playing? Because this is where I was going to ask you this question before, but then you said you had IMDb up and you were cheating. Would you have known
I always have IMDb up.
What song was playing at the wedding?
Oh, it was Uptown Funk.
That is correct, yeah. And the name of the girl at the shelter was AJ. I didn't know if you would know that one or not.
She tried to feed candy to dogs.
Yes, she did.
I forgot about that, and that really got me. I was like, you can't give dogs candy. They like it. No.
This is
diarrhea.
This is not really a trivia question, but I was very happy to see this because I'm a huge fan of this gentleman. What do you know what shirt that Nani was wearing in the end scene?
Somebody just asked that in the chat. Was it Elvis Costello?
No, dude, no.
Why did I feel like it was Elvis Costello? Maybe I have Elvis on the brain. Who is it, Rob? Tell me.
Prince and the Revolution. It was Purple Rain.
Oh my God, and I love Prince. Why didn't I notice that?
Prince was my man. Prince was the guy. Prince was the one that when he passed away, people literally called to see if I was okay, and I was not okay. I was supposed to go see him, and he passed away, and it was tragic.
I was supposed to go see him.
He was a musical genius. I've seen him 7 times, and he was amazing. And when I see that shirt, I'm like, good.
You saw him all 7 times? I was supposed to see him, and my wife didn't want to go see him on New Year's Eve at the casino, and he died shortly thereafter, and so I will hold that against her forever. I love her dearly, but she will pay.
Yeah. If you, instead of dropping an F in the chat, folks, because nobody has, but I would say drop your favorite Prince song in the chat. I would love to see what people associate with Prince, because I mean, I have a lot of deep cuts that were favorites of mine, and they're, he was an amazing performer who ushered in so many other careers, from
an
Sheena
absolutely
Easton
brilliant songwriter and musician and decent basketball player.
When at Destination D23, they were talking about the fact that they originally had for Goofy, the Goofy movie, Prince in mind as the pop star. And that they went to his manager, and the guy said Prince said he won't do it, but he recommended Tevin Campbell, who was on Graffiti Bridge, which was a Prince movie. So Prince actually discovered Tevin Campbell, and it's probably the reason that he did Eye to Eye. So, just amazing at like finding talent and grooming them and all that. Just props to Prince, and I could do some kind of a 4-hour show about how much Prince was awesome. All right, so let's get back to this. One of the things that I found fault with in the original movie is that Cobra Bubbles was their social worker, but he also just happened to be like with the, the alien task force of the CIA. In this one, they really kind of make that make sense because he's
Yes.
listening in. He finds his way in is to be the social worker who is not a CIA agent. She's not a double agent. She's just a social worker who cares about them, which, again, puts Tia Carrera in a position where she should be in this movie, helps the movie come along, makes more of that emotional connection, and it has their best interests at heart. And then the Cobra Bubble still finds his way into the movie, but without having to have been that role. I applaud them for that one. I love that.
Agreed. Agreed. I think it was a great choice. I think it was a great choice. It sure, you can have a career change, but like CIA agent doesn't usually go to social worker. I'm sure it's happened, but it doesn't seem like a usual career arc.
Well, but also Lilo still gives him the same shakedown about like, are you really a social worker? Why do you have this on your,
Yeah.
why do you have Cobra or Bubbles, tattooed onto
Right.
your knuckles? All right, so let's talk about this end scene, which you
Yeah.
mentioned before, because honestly, when the end scene happened, I was like, I don't know what I wanted out of this because this is new for me. I wanted Stitch to
Yeah.
get up and walk out. I wanted him to realize that he could just walk out of
But
the
water
water.
makes him heavy.
Right, but
They
that's what I
established that.
wanted. That's what I was wanting out of this moment. Because a lot of
Oh.
times I've seen so much media in my lifetime, movies and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
plays and TV shows and all these things that my mind always goes, what do I want to happen here? And that's what I wanted to happen. Is I wanted him to walk out, and I don't know that it made any more sense than what actually happened, but
Mhm.
Nani walking out with him. You said you applaud this.
I do.
Talk
I
about it.
do. I think it's a great scene. I think that we set it up earlier with showing Nani training for her competitions, and I think she realizes how important Stitch is to Lilo and the healing process, and how much he has helped her and been a support to her. She could have just let him go, but she realized that Lilo needed Stitch, and she needed to be there in a way for her sister with a certain set of skills that she has.
Yeah. Did you honestly put 7 in the chat? Like all 7 and we
That is my
watch
favorite
them
Prince song.
fall. Interesting.
Yep.
Let's go
Yeah.
crazy. I see that one. Take me with you. Raspberry Beret. Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, probably not a popular choice, but Get Off is one of my favorites from the Symbol album.
It's a
And
good song.
I had that version that I bought from Target when it came out, and I was living in Florida at the time, and I bought it from Target, and it was the edited version, and I didn't know it.
That's
So
that song's very different.
Sexy MF is
Yeah.
very, very different. Anyway, so honestly, again, with this one, I don't know that I loved that. And Jake and I, when we were talking about this with the ending with Nani walking out with of the water, said, kind of quoted back to the book when she's teaching Stitch about Nani and being into surfing and all of those things.
Yep.
And then like this is how she trained, and they show her underwater, but she's got like scuba gear on, but they show her underwater. And, so it's like, okay, she's trained for this. She knows how to do this. This isn't something she just pulled out of nowhere.
No, it's not like you always talk about in movies that the hero is weak until he needs to be strong. And
Yeah.
What are the rules of this universe that suddenly he can beat this person he couldn't before? So yeah,
Yep. Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah. So anyway, they bring Stitch out. They find a way to try to, again, they lay these little breadcrumbs that I don't see happening, and then they come back at the end and they make sense. The portal gun makes sense in the way that they use it later. Because in the beginning it doesn't seem necessary, and then as we get towards the end, it's like, okay, this really came in handy. Same thing with like the jumper cables here. Is like it made it a big deal because her car never starts, and then there's that anticipation
always has those
she
jumper
puts the
cables.
jumper cables on him, and oh, for the love of God, turns it on and it works. But then we're all like, it's very Baloo and Jungle Book in wake up, Papa Bear kind of a thing. And
Look at that, the Purple Rain shirt, very
Yes.
well in frame right there.
I may have accidentally on purpose done that. But again,
Yeah.
also this scene with
Oh,
with
little poor
Maya just
guy.
speaks to this, like the commitment, the level of just like you believe that she believes it, so you believe it. Brilliant, just so good. And
Great,
this
great
right
way to put
here
that, Rob.
is
Really, really well said.
are you making fun of me?
No, I'm being
Okay.
serious. You
Yeah.
said that really well. Like that describes exactly how that's working.
Which again really kind of goes back to the
Yeah,
acting and all that. So, and probably the directing for that matter. But in this moment when you know he's not dead, you know that, but
I
it's
know.
still, you feel it, and the anticipation is there until you do that, and then you can breathe, and you're like and that's that Disney moment, that's that exciting Disney, you got the goose pimples, the music kicks in, everything's great, and the world
Yeah,
is awesome,
because
and we have a happy ending.
Stitch is a sidekick. He's not a mom or a dad, so he gets to live.
But I will tell you, the most that I tear up at this movie is the line that Chris Sanders delivered in the original movie. Notice I didn't say the
You
movie;
did
I said
okay. You're
original
getting
movie.
better.
I'm almost to the end, and I did it. I barely got out of it. Where he says, "This is my family. It's little and it's broken, but it's still good. Yeah, still good." Man,
Stop it.
that's the one. That's the one where I'm like, worth it.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care
Oh,
what
dude,
they could have
I was
screwed up.
a
Like that. Like
sobbing
the fact that they kept
disaster.
that in there, I was like, yes,
Yeah.
please. Now you talk. Sorry.
Oh, dude, no, I got nothing to add to that. I need a moment to like recover because it's just so emotional.
It's
They
little,
really
it's
do
broken,
a
but still good. Yeah, still
yeah.
good. Like just so
They
good.
do so much of building this into what this needs to be, and they deliver. It delivers, and when we get to that final, I know we had people in the chat. KB left, but a lot of people want to talk about that ending, Rob.
What particular, the Nani thing or
So
just him?
yeah, the Nani thing. How do you feel about that?
About Nani carrying him out of the water?
No, about Nani leaving.
Oh, about Nani leaving. Oh, yeah. I mean, again, the portal gun comes into play to soften that blow, doesn't it?
100%. It
Very
does.
similar.
Yep.
You know what I want to compare it to, and I don't think I did this when Jake and I talked about it the first time. But what I want to compare it to is the very first Santa Claus movie, where Charlie has to say goodbye to his dad, and his dad has to go to the North Pole, and it's like it's heart wrenching for him, and almost immediately he calls him back using the snow globe, and he's like, "I'm here whenever you want me, Charlie." He's like, "I'm right here. You missed me already? I just left. I'm right here." And the portal gun takes the sting of that away in a different way than, say, like the end of Luca, where, like, he gets on the train and leaves without his friends, and
His
you're
fish
like,
family.
yeah. And so in this one, it's like, yes, she got what she wanted, which was to be able to, stay in Lilo's life, but also go to do marine biology. And Lilo gets to see her basically whenever she wants because they have the portal gun, and so they can continue to have that connection that they wanted to have. So I feel like that softened the blow, that she gets it both. She gets both things. And I wonder if that was like a focus group, like she went away and never came back, and they were like, well, wait a minute, that sucks, because she just fought this entire time to be able to keep her sister, and then she goes away.
So, what does Ohana mean, Rob?
Ohana means family, that nobody gets left behind or forgotten. All
And
forgotten.
if 18-year-old Nani now has to dedicate her life to being a full-time mother and put aside all her dreams, is she getting left behind?
But she
She's getting
doesn't.
left behind, Rob.
But she doesn't have to now because the portal gun
Right. That's what
exists.
I'm saying, is that people want to just put it that she left her sister. She left her sister in a better situation than she was in. She made a heart-wrenching decision to have her sister live with the neighbors and go off to college. Maybe she comes back and, gets a degree and is a marine biologist and then could be the sister mom that Lilo needs, and she's able to provide a stable life for her. But
Yeah.
Nani would have been left behind, and her story isn't about that in this one. She deserves to get her happy ending as well. Lilo is going to have a stable family life that Nani could not provide her, and Nani's going to get her chance to go off and make something of herself, and maybe then eventually be able to provide what Lilo actually needs. I think it was incredibly well done. And because of that ending, because of the way it all worked out, because of the bigger message of Ohana that comes from a lot of the Hawaiian culture and traditions, I love this film. I thought that it was pitch perfect. And honestly, I like it better than the animated.
Okay, that's big talk. But let me
It
throw
is.
this at you
Sure.
because I agree with everything that you said, and like I said, they fixed it in a way that I'm still happy as the audience that no one lost anything. No one got left behind or forgotten. Everybody got what they wanted. Lilo has a family. Nani gets to go to school, but she can still be there for Lilo. All of that's great. But let me devil's advocate this for you for a second.
Sure.
From the
Only
animation,
person that should play devil's advocate is Al Pacino. I don't think it's you.
Hooah! Sorry. So from the first, did I really just do that? From the first movie, though, they made this problem for the second movie because that was not her dream in the first movie. That was not her purpose in the first movie, or her goal.
You're right.
And so what they did in this movie was they made a goal for her, and then she had something to lose. So they made this problem for this movie. This was not they messed it up like whatever, but they made this problem for this movie to show a bigger growth potential for, because it's not called Lilo and Nani and Stitch. It's called Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
And so honestly, I feel like Nani was like the mom in the first one, and it wasn't as tough a relationship. Obviously, there was some frustration, but they really delved deep into that. And I think to do that, they had to give and Jodie Benson talks about this, and so did Howard Ashman with the Mermaid movie, that they were going to take part of your world out, but it's the I Want song. And so in this one, the I want for her is I want to go to college and have this dream happen. And then we're sad for her and we relate to her, and it makes her a deeper character. But they made the problem versus the original movie, because the original movie still had a happy ending. The original movie, she's like, I just want to take care of my sister and have an Ohana and be here together. And they're like, great, well, we're going to keep an eye on you, and the government's going to rebuild your house, and then we're going to take care of you, and everything's going to be like all great, and you can just go back to the luau and do your thing and hang out with David and have a perfect family. And nobody had any regrets. They made the problem for this movie, and then they fixed it.
True. You're not wrong.
Okay.
end.
Yeah. I think that was the only stuff I wanted to talk about. But again, if the movie hadn't had the Stitch speech at the end, and again, the Hannah Waddingham thing where he's like, can I say goodbye? And she's like, okay, sure. Like, I mean, it's just like, it's brilliant.
Well,
And then
because
she
the whole
then she
thing was-
Simon Cowell's them, where she goes, no, you can't have this alien. He's got to be in exile, but we're going to make him serve it here. Like where Simon Cowell goes, I didn't like it, I loved it. Like that thing where we're just like, we see it a million times.
Forgot he was still a thing, man. That's crazy.
America's Got Talent every Tuesday night, only on NBC.
I think it was really well done. And I think that the Exile on Earth is pretty great. Yeah, man, I think it's a 10 out of 10.
I like that Nani gets to join the Marines. But one last thing about this one that salutes the original movie, so many little lines. The Earth, which, I mean, that made its way into the Stitch attraction at the Magic Kingdom. He took the red one, like, so good. And then, like, Ohana means family, obviously was a thing. And then also the Stitch speech at the end. So there were very specific things that were in the original that somebody, and maybe it was Chris Sanders being, like, involved with the project, that was like, this has to happen for this to be the Lilo and Stitch movie. And
100%.
And they nailed it. And so there were 4 movies that came out. It was in the animation world. There was Lilo and Stitch. There was Stitch the movie, which then was the introduction to Stitch the series, which then was wrapped up with Stitch Has a Glitch, and then you had Leroy and Stitch. Like there were only the Lilo and Stitch original was a theater movie. All the rest were straight to VHS, DVD, what have you. But what I'm interested in with this is very much what I was interested in with the Mufasa movie, is that the Lilo and Stitch 2, which has already been greenlit. Obviously, you make $1 billion, you're going to make another one of these. is going to be a completely new movie to all of us. It is.
I
I
hope
mean,
so.
maybe
I
it'll
hope so.
introduce
This
Gantu.
is their
Maybe it'll
story now.
introduce Hamsterville. Maybe it'll introduce like like
Ruben,
some like
give me Ruben. We saw
Maybe
Ruben in this.
maybe the cousins will be introduced. Maybe not. But at
Angel.
the same. Well, but so like in the way that they introduced how the experiments worked in this one, he made it seem like that Stitch was going to become 627, not that he would make a new one that would be 627. And so maybe that's where we're going with this, is that Stitch is somehow going to be like evolved into something else. I don't know, but I'm not going to guess to that. I'm just looking forward to the fact that there's going to be a new story, that this one I feel like added on to the original. Now there's going to be a new story. I'm excited about seeing that. Before we get to our final thoughts on these, I think you feel like we've covered everything and we're good, right?
I'm pretty sure we covered everything. I just want to give a shout out to Chris Sanders, because not only Lilo and Stitch, but man, the Wild Robot, How to Train Your Dragon, dude kills it. Like, he is one of the best writers, one of the best eyes for storytelling that there is. I'll forgive him for the crudes. There's people who like it. I'm not one of them.
Yeah, well, no, I agree. How to Train Your Dragon is just a whole nother, that's a whole nother ball of wax. But I wanted to say, though, that Disney do better about giving Stitch something in the parks.
Yes.
Because we're going to go to Tokyo soon, and the Stitch is part of the Tiki Room there, and it's going to be closed, and I'm a little bit bummed out about that. However, we had the Stitch's Great Escape, which was not the salute that it should have been to Stitch. I would love to see a Stitch dark ride. Like, I would love to see.
I don't know if it's a dark ride. I don't know if it's a dark ride. I don't know. I think that's the problem.
Rock and Roller Coaster featuring Stitch.
Rock and Roller Coaster would have worked. Rock and Roller Coaster, that's the red one.
Like Hawaiian Roller Coaster.
Hawaiian Roller Coaster ride? Hell yeah, that's a great idea. I mean, I'm sure the Muppets are going to do a fantastic job with it. It would be great if they didn't change. I don't like the way that looks. It's a little upsetting. Oh, hi. Oh, look, you have your own audio animatronic now.
I mean, it's better
Put
than
him on.
nothing.
Me and him could do a show together. It'll be a good time.
Yes. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know what. Clearly, the reskin of Alien Encounter wasn't it. Rock and Roller Coaster can't be it. What does Stitch? I mean, Hawaiian Roller Coaster ride is right there. Barnstormer, a Stitch re-theme of Barnstormer. I don't know. We think of re-themes because there's hardly anything new getting built. I don't think a dark ride would work
because
Stitch doesn't.
But he feels like, because he is so merchandisable, he feels like an honorary member of the Fab Five, who are already the Sensational Six because of Daisy, and so throw in Stitch and make it the Sensational Seven, because he kind of stands alone, right? In the fact that, like, you don't need, like, it's great to have Lilo and Stitch, but Stitch can be just Stitch in something. And so the merchandise is amazing and all over the place, as you would just ask Jake's wallet, which is completely empty because of Stitch.
I see the pictures on social media.
Yeah, he would gladly give more. But honestly, I feel, and go back and watch Castaways. Last Friday we had Castaways with Stephanie, where she talked to Jake, and he's got his plush all around him, and it's amazing. But I honestly, he's very marketable, like, I don't know, Figment, same thing. Like, give him a decent ride. And so, I do think you could do something like, wouldn't it be great to see a great movie ride style thing where Stitch crashes each of the movies? That would be
Put
kind
him
of
in France.
Yeah.
He crashes the Beauty and the Beast sing-along.
He's in the Disneyland. He and Lilo are in the Disneyland. It's a Small World. There's
no reason that we shouldn't have that in Disney World. It's ridiculous that we have trash. It's a Small World.
I've heard blogs and internet websites say for years that it was going to happen, and it never has. But yeah, that should be something. So, all right. Well, again, thank you guys so much for hanging out and talking about this thing. And like I said, we did another one where Jake and I kind of talked about first kind of first impressions. So you can go back and check that out on the channel. They're also, like I mentioned, Jake was on Stephanie's show Castaways last Friday night. You can go check that out. And all of it's on parkadventuresclub.com. And this Sunday night, we are back with a new episode of the Park Adventurers Club. That's our Sunday night park show. Are you saying that you might be a part of that park show this week?
Let me check my schedule, because I locked myself out of Discord on my phone. Let me see here. Let's see. September 7th, I have PAC at 8:30 p.m.
You and Stephanie are going to be on, and we're going to talk
team.
a little bit about the announcements that they made at D23. Even though there weren't a ton of parks announcements, there were some parks announcements, so we'll talk about that and a couple other things like about Dino Land announcements that were made after the fact. So please tune in 8:30 on Sunday night. That is your new Sunday night park show that the people asked, and we delivered. We're like, we want to be back on Sunday nights. Let's make it happen. We've been there for the past 5 months. Can you believe this has been 5 months, Patrick?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So again, thank you guys for being with us and the pack. We love the pack, our Park Adventurers Club. You guys are part of the club, part of the magic, part of the community that we are building here. Thank you guys so much. Go Pack. That's a different kind of pack. But if you want to be a member of it, go to patreon.com/GoPack, or Jake has put it in the chat. Bless you, my friend. And you can be part of our Discord. You can be part of, hanging out with us online and also join us for all the shows that we've got. And also, if you join at a certain level, we will send you a Park Adventures Club sticker and button. Patrick, you have yours, I believe. So
I do. Yeah. It's on my Stanley.
Nice. And one last shout out I want to do before we close this with our final thoughts is I want to give a shout out to all of our pack members, as I mentioned, but also our Zebra Mezzanine and our Treasure Room supporters. Thank you guys so much for being members of the Park Adventures Club. And if you want to check us out on any social media, everything from Blue Sky to TikTok to everywhere, we're there. Park ADV Club is how you find us on any social media. But Patrick, my friend, now is the time. Now is the best time. And I don't think that anybody is going to even blink. Yeah, there's no surprise here, I'm sure. But I need to ask you, if somebody was like, man, Patrick, I know you're a huge Disney fan. I got Disney Plus. I was going to watch something this weekend. Would you recommend...
John Carter.
Okay, let me back up. If they said, I was thinking about watching that new Lilo and Stitch live action movie, Patrick Hackett, would you recommend this movie?
After you watch John Carter, you should absolutely watch the live action Lilo and Stitch. I feel it's better than the animated original. It hit on the right notes for me, and I've really and truly loved it. It's just a fantastic movie. Chris Sanders is a genius. I love The Wild Robot. I really enjoy How to Train Your Dragon. I've been trying to get my daughter to watch it with me. So go out, watch Lilo and Stitch. Watch both of them. Maybe don't watch anything else. The show's fine. The show's okay. But just the original animated and the 2025 movie. And John Carter. Always watch John Carter.
Well, I thought, like you, I thought I was a huge Stitch fan, and not
until you met Jake.
And I never claimed to be the biggest Stitch fan. Nightmare is my IP. I love Tron, and I'm a big Oswald fan. But Stitch is the guy. He's a cutie, and he's awesome, and it's hard not to love him. And I feel like the same is true about this live-action movie. Like I said, some of the live-action movies, Lion King shot for shot, I wouldn't waste your time. The original movie is so much more charming. It's such a better movie. And in this particular case, I think that both of these have a place. That's the thing, is I think that I want to cut back to Patrick because he's nodding his head in agreement. I don't know that you always agree with me, so let's go ahead and get more of that going on. But I really feel like that it is a great companion to the original movie. It takes it into a new depth. It gives us deeper appreciation for these sisters and the challenges that they face. And there was a couple little things about it that you're like, if you're getting critical about it, and we've talked about those things tonight, that it's like, well, maybe this choice, maybe that choice, but I don't think any of it crashes the charm of this movie. and I can't say enough good things about it. Now I will say, my wife, not as huge a fan. When I was talking about watching this movie tonight, she was like, okay. And I was like, you don't have to watch. I can watch it somewhere else. She's like, well, I mean, if it's on, that's fine. But she's like, I'm not. I'm like, so. And now that I've said that out loud and Jake has heard that, he'll have words with her. But honestly, I think that as a family, we were split on how we liked it. So I would love to hear from you guys. Drop in the comments below and let us know what you thought of it, or what your favorite Prince song is if you weren't live with us on the chat here tonight. Thank you, Mr. Hackett, for always bringing it, always having a good time, being a great sport about the trivia questions. And,
oh, God,
and just,
I knew I was cooked.
Yeah, just being here, man. I love hanging out with you, brother. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you guys for being here, and have a great week. Hopefully we will see you Saturday night for another Happiest Days with Shannon. That's her show. And then don't forget to come back here on Sunday night for me, Patrick, Stephanie, and the Park Adventurers Club. Have a great one, and we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.